at you live from Ure. I actually still don't know how to say it. Hi, Gabby. I still don't know how to say it. Gabby might mess up my recording right now. I just had the craziest fucking drive up to this campsite. This road was fucking ridiculous. Me and Gabby were both clutching our pearls. I was in four-wheel drive, low range mode. And I still was like shitting a brick on the way up, but we made it. Gabby loves. Okay, come on. So yeah, the drive up the road was fucking atrocious, but we made it, and I have a lot more confidence in my little van now, so that's huge. I still don't have a name for her yet. I was thinking of naming it after the dude that sold it to me, Joe, and calling her Josie. But I don't know. The van also had a problem on my drive over that was not disclosed to me when this van was sold. Granted, I think it could just be an issue with the oil being overfilled originally, and maybe the sensor didn't get it right away. I was driving, and 3 hours into my drive, I get a notification, not that the oil is low, but the oil is too high, which I've been looking at the stats because the newer Mercedes, you can see a lot of the stats of the oil, the DEF, and the gas. And I've been looking at those stats, and just an hour ago I checked and it said the oil was at max. I thought it was weird that the oil never went down, I guess. But I didn't really expect it to go up. I must be in a fucking magic van because I don't know how it just generated more oil. So this happened 3 hours into the drive, and I start tweaking because I'm like, this doesn't make sense. And when I look it up, a lot of people are saying it could be your fuel is injecting into the oil space. I don't have a lot of car terms under my belt. Into the oil space. And that's really bad for your engine, obviously. I go to the Grease Monkey, 3 very nice men do some like vacuum fucking bondage on my oil just so I don't dump everything. They only dump a little bit, and they're looking at the viscosity. The oil seems fine, it smells fine. And then the oil sensor updates, it's no longer at max, and it hasn't really changed, especially on this fuck-ass drive up this trailhead. Still hasn't changed. So I guess we're good. I guess we're okay. I don't fucking know. But if it is an issue with the fuel injector, I'm going to be pissed. I'm not going to name the van Josie because Joe will lose all my respect because man said there was nothing wrong with the van. So I hold him to that. This is my first big trip though. So I expect to see any issues that didn't crop up start to crop up. And that gives me great concern because I am van poor as is. And I don't really need more issues in my life. Van seems okay. I'm okay, even though I almost fucking like shit out my intestines driving up this road. Gabby, we didn't end up getting her to the vet because I had my follow-up court trial, but since I haven't served the person I'm getting the restraining order against, pushed back another 2 weeks. So all my travels have been pushed back another 2 weeks, which is frustrating, but at this point, I'm just going to go with it. I can't change it. I'm trying to substitute serve now, so we'll see how that goes. It's just frustrating in situations like this. The onus is put on me to track this person down and serve them. I have to stalk the stalker. Anyways. So I spent some time at the court, and then I ended up missing Gabby's vet appointment, but luckily her sniffling and her sneezing has gotten so much better. I think it may have just been the irritation in the van. I cleaned the van so much last night, vacuumed this entire bitch. I also slept with the diesel heater on, which I think maybe if I continue to have this oil generating itself like fucking Jesus in the wine or whatever the fuck, if I keep having this oil problem, I think it might be related to the diesel heater. And because that was the first time I ran the diesel heater the whole night, I was nice and cozy at 60 degrees. Gabby was way too active, but that means that she was really comfortable. But I'm thinking that maybe if there's an issue with the diesel heater, maybe if it hasn't been cleaned, it could be ejecting some diesel into the oil area. What the fuck is the oil area called? Someone just tell me. Oil container. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that. I'm an engineer. I actually majored in aerospace engineering. I know I sound fucking stupid all the time, but the Grease Monkey dudes are really nice. They took like 20 minutes to empty my oil and make sure it was good level, and they did it for free. And they said that even if they like emptied too much oil, I could come back and they'd top it off. So that was really nice because I was expecting that to cost a lot of money. Not the oil thing, but if there was an issue with the fuel injector. I mean, even I would have thrown them like a 20 for draining the oil. But they were really cool and really chill. So that restored my faith in humanity a little bit because the morning started out just stressful and a little bit rough. Yeah, now that I'm at this campsite, I'm really excited to work from here tomorrow. It's going to make the corporate life so much better just being by a fucking waterfall. It's not really a waterfall. By a babbling brook. Being by a babbling brook is going to make my fucking 7:30 a.m. tag up just so much more magical. And I'm really excited for that, and I'm really excited to explore this area. I will have to depart this area as it's going to drop below freezing tomorrow night. So I'm going to go a little bit more north. Back to my Grease Monkey boys. Maybe we can hang out. Not really. That'd be kind of weird. Hey, what's up? I am at a beautiful riverside campsite tonight in Bayfield, Colorado. I just need somewhere to post up for a couple days before the festival this weekend, which I'm so excited for. And that's kind of the whole reason why I'm down in southern Colorado right now. The festival's near Durango. I spent the past couple days in Durango. Well, let me run it back a little bit. I went back to Montrose. I don't know how to say any of these names. It's embarrassing. At least I could say Bayfield. That would be a bit embarrassing if I couldn't say that. I've been trying to dodge just the freezing weather because I have piping that is exposed to the outside. It could burst, and I've only lived in here for 2 weeks. I cannot have some burst pipes in here. It'd be a lot. And so far with the van, besides that little oil incident, which when I talked to my dad about it, he said that oil expands when it gets hot, like most things expand when they get hot. So it could have been just filled to the top, and once I drove for 3 hours, then it expanded. I don't know. Otherwise, I haven't had any issues with the van, so any issues here on out are probably caused by me. And I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible and be responsible. I was in Montrose or whatever the fuck for a couple days. My weekdays are pretty boring because I'm just working. And as a project manager, I'm just sitting on my laptop. I'm hopping in calls. I'm solving problems. You don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. It's boring, period. And then afterwards, I'll do some yoga, or lately afterwards, I've still just been trying to get my ducks in a row in the van, but I think the ducks are finally in a row. My to-do list has dwindled. I've organized everything I need to organize, and I'm feeling really good about it. So that feels great. And then I drove the $1 Million Highway. So I was kind of sketched out about this drive before I embarked on it, just because videos online show just the drop off the side. And my van is about 20 feet long, so it's not the extended Sprinter van, which is great because I could fit in a normal parking spot. But it's still like I've kissed the curb once or twice already. So you can't really be kissing the curb on the $1 Million Highway because then you just die. But right before the sketchy part, there is this beautiful, beautiful overlook. and waterfall, hella steep. I was trying to film it with my phone and my hands were kind of sweaty and I was like shaking them a little bit. I'm not a professional yet, but it was absolutely gorgeous. I think that was one of the most gorgeous things I've seen on this trip so far. So, yay. Shout out you, Ray. The $1,000,000 views and the $1,000,000. I don't know why I try to say things. I think it's also because I haven't really talked all day. Because I haven't really had a full conversation with somebody since I talked to my friend on the phone like yesterday. And that was still like a 5-minute conversation. So we're still kind of lonely. I digress. We're driving on the highway and it's not as sketchy as I thought. It was sketchier going up that to that waterfall campsite or that little creek campsite. Way sketchier doing that drive and just feeling my van go trying to compensate for all the fuck ass rocks. The $1,000,000 highway was really chill. And after I got past the sketchy part, drove my ass down to Silverton. And before I got to Silverton, because it's a big like mining area, right? So it goes $1,000,000 highway, Gold Rush, and Ouray. Then there's Ironton, there's Silverton, and it was gorgeous. It was such a gorgeous drive. Just going through Ironton, I was really surprised just by how remote it was. All the dilapidated mining buildings. That was really cool. It was giving Skyrim. I was expecting some fucking orcs to come out or some shit. Like, yeah, that's honestly what it reminded me of. Then I got to Silverton. I was going to eat in Silverton, but it was a pretty small town. A lot of just bar food. So I kept driving. And I didn't really realize that the weather in the mountains, we're getting some much needed snow, but it's not great when I'm driving my van with no snow tires on. It can be 4x4, but with snow, it's like the 4x4 is great to get out of situations and to have, I guess, a little bit more control in general. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the traction control comes from the tires. It doesn't come from the 4x4 per se. Interesting, per se. I was a little sketched out on that drive, but the nature I saw, I saw a moose. I've never seen a moose before. It was just drinking water, just a fucking cascade of water coming down from its big mouth. And I saw a wolf. There's only like 25 wolves in Colorado. So I basically saw a fucking unicorn out there. And I tried to take a video. I was looking back on the video. You can't see it at all. So if you don't believe me, whatever. But I'll even put a screenshot right here. There's only like 25 to 30 wolves in Colorado as a whole. And I know for damn sure that was a wolf. It was crossing the road in front of me. If I was there like, I don't know, 10 seconds, if I had driven 10 seconds faster, I could have hit that thing with my car. Then I would have shown y'all it was a wolf, but that would be really bad because then there'd only be 29 wolves. But that felt like such a blessing. That was so cool. When I was in the 2nd grade, I loved wolves, and I did my science fair project on wolves, and I was talking about how they eat the elk, but my little dumbass with a speech impediment, I kept saying, they eat the elk, and I got flamed in the 2nd grade. It was really fucking embarrassing. So never forgetting that, but finally got to see the wolf, and I think the curse is lifted from it. I don't know. I'm healed is what I'm saying. My trauma is healed. But after that, I made my way down to Durango. I have some friends that grew up in Durango or went to high school in Durango, so they have some good recs for me. And I stealth camped for the first time. It was super chill. Durango's a little bit harder on people that sleep in their cars. So I didn't really want to go to the obvious spot, which in Durango is the transit center, because they can give out tickets for people that are sleeping in their cars because that's technically not allowed. You could park a car there overnight. You could park cars overnight, and I parked in a place where it wasn't like 2-hour parking or don't park here parking. And I was just quiet. I took a trazodone, so maybe somebody knocked, but I slept through that shit, so cool. That was my first stealth camp, and real quick and easy. I didn't turn on the heat, though, because I didn't want anybody to hear that, and it was cold. Gabby was cold. She was all snuggled up with me. Next day, I went up to this place called Missionary Ridge. absolutely gorgeous. The views. I got up there and Gabby had her first outdoor adventure. I took her on the smallest hike ever, basically a little walk to the viewpoint and walk back. And I got her accustomed to her 20-foot leash. And I am just so fucking proud of her. She's doing an amazing job. It warms my heart because she has come so far. She used to be an outdoor cat. Her lore is crazy. They found her on the streets pregnant with 8 kittens. They all passed, unfortunately, because she was so malnourished. But then she got me, her giant daughter, and she literally treats me like her kid. It's really cute. But harness leash training her, she always wanted to go outside, but she was a little spastic and very prey driven. She still is pretty prey driven. And I also had an issue with some fuck ass chipmunks inside my engine bay. Inside my engine bay. And I look in and it's scaring the shit out. It shouldn't scare me. It's a little fucking rodent. And I think chipmunks are cute. But I like chipmunks where they're supposed to be, on the fucking earth, not inside my van. And at first Gabby was curious and I was like, Gabby, you're not a mechanic. Don't touch it. But then I realized there's chipmunks in there, and I'm like trying to fucking sick her on the chipmunks. Because she was a street cat. Like, go get your fucking dinner. And she just couldn't get up in there. I didn't want her to get up in there because I don't know what's going on in there. So I heard the solution is peppermint oil, and I bought some peppermint oil. I'm gonna put the peppermint oil in a little spray bottle, spray around the wheel wells, the engine bay. Start with that and hope that helps because that was frustrating. I don't want them to chew through my wires. That can be incredibly expensive. And I think the reason that they do that is because the wires have a soy-based coating, which is very environmentally friendly, but also leave my shit alone. They try to take the little insulation too and make it for their nests. Like, are you not surrounded by dry grass? It hasn't rained in so fucking long. Like, why are you coming from my van? Whatever. I spent Saturday just there doing some chores, chilling with Gabby, having beautiful outside time. And a couple cars would come up because it was a campsite with a couple fire rings, so multiple people could be there. And a couple of cars would come up and either go off-roading or kind of drive up and leave because I didn't really want to share the space, which I understand. But right as I was getting comfortable and texting my friend from Durango, they're like, oh, everything's good, because he offered, he's like, let me know if you need anything. I have some friends out there. And I'm like, no, everything's good. A fucking, tweaker comes up. Granted, this was a long-ass drive up this ridge. The road was pretty nice, but I haven't seen a tweaker in a second. I mean, I lived in Denver. I lived in Seattle. I've seen my fair share of tweakers. It was just not the environment I expected to see one. And he was kind of far out. I took a video. He was kind of, because I was like, who the fuck? And I was trying to zoom in on him too to see what was good. Because he was just afar, emoting at my van. He looked very upset. And when I zoomed in, you could see the holes in his shirt. I was trying to suss out his age. It looked like he was balding a little bit, so he's a bit older. I was like, this guy gave me horrendous vibes. And I was like, fuck. Because I saw him right as I got out of my van to put Gabby's poop bag outside to also try to deter the chipmunks to smell Gabby's scent. She's going to come for you. So then he saw me as a solo woman. I mean, he doesn't know I'm solo, but me as a woman come out of the van. He's aggressively emoting at the van. I just get back in because I was like, ugh, it really spooked me. And I was about to say, nope, I am going to find somewhere else to camp because he gave me such horrendous vibes. But luckily, a little Honda Accord, Honda Civic drives up with 3, I would say college age boys. I was in the best campsite there. It was next to the viewpoint. It had the better fire ring. So I got out and I was like, oh, you guys take this campsite. I'm going to move my van a little bit around this pile of dirt, whatever. And I would have left if those guys didn't show up. So shout out my guardian angels. Boys born in 2006 or some shit. I felt very okay after that. So that was good. So how's everything going? Things are going really good. I feel really good. I'm PMSing a little bit, so I have these random pangs of anxiety, which is frustrating. But also, when I was at the Missionary Ridge campground pre tweaker, post chipmunk, I was just feeling really grateful. I don't know how long I will be living this lifestyle, given governmental, is that a word? Given government changes, given the oil crisis, given every job that's remote is eventually not remote. So I'm only 2 weeks in, but like, it just feels good. It feels very freeing and just peaceful overall. I don't know. And I still keep up with my friends via text and calls and everything. I still have moments of loneliness, I guess, but also I really enjoy just the quiet and the no drama, no story. There is still drama with the restraining order thing, so I still haven't served him. And I did, however, get approved for substitute service, which means I am going to have his previous roommate served. And she, once she confirms her identity, receives the paperwork, they check the box that he's been served. And it's up to her to notify him. She doesn't physically have to give him the papers, but she can just text him. And I have an electronic copy that I texted her that I can provide to her. When I was dating this guy and he was living there with her, she was pregnant and I thought she would have given birth by now, but I guess not. And she's due to have this child like any day now. So the timing's really bad because she's going to have a home birth too. And they're going to come and serve her the papers either Monday or Tuesday. And with my fucking luck, they're going to serve her while she's giving birth or some shit. They're going to knock on the door. They're going to say, oh, we can't answer. There's another human life coming out of her. And then my trial is going to get delayed again. Which, at this point, given how frustrating this is and given just my luck in general, I see that very likely to be happening. And I reached out to her just giving her a heads up that it was happening. She was not happy with me, which I understand. She's doing the most difficult thing you can do in this world. It's only going to take her 5 minutes to take the paperwork and send this guy a text letting him know he got served and to show up for the court date. And it's kind of my only option right now because I still don't know where he is. And I'm not trying to stalk him. I'm not trying to stalk the stalker. So the substitute service is my only shot for this round of court proceedings. What sucks is I have the festival this upcoming weekend, but I have to leave early to drive back to Denver for another court date that I hope he gets served in ample time. We can do the court date and it'll be done. However, the cards may fall, whatever. But damn, it's frustrating and I'm just ready for it to be done, but I ain't no quitter. I'm gonna keep trying, and if homegirl is giving birth and we can't get her served, I'll wait the other cycle, I guess, because every time this person can't get served and I have the court date, I still have to show up in fuck ass Denver. But they push the date by 2 weeks. So if that happens, then I can just serve him at the summer job he's starting. And I know he'll be there. And I'll be able to get his ass there. So we're getting somewhere. But god damn it. So we'll see what happens. Tomorrow's Monday. We'll see what happens tomorrow with all of that. But should be interesting to say the least. And after the festival, pretty much the festival goes Thursday to Sunday. Technically Thursday to Monday morning. I'll be going, but then on Sunday morning, I'll be picking up Gabby, driving 7 hours to Denver, and then preparing for the trial, finding a Planet Fitness, taking a fucking shower so I don't look like I just left a festival. And going to court the next day to be my own lawyer in this trial. So I have to be actually prepared. I can't just sit there looking, pretty and sad. So I have all this evidence ready. Luckily, I prepared all the evidence like 2 weeks ago for the last time I showed up in court. So I'll just have to write out a couple more notes. The prep won't be too bad. But it is nerve-wracking because it would just suck to lose this case after so much has come up from this, and I would just feel unsafe to lose the case because if he didn't like me before, he really does not like me now. I'm being persistent on getting this protection order filed. So, yeah. Anyways, this next week, I'll just be chilling at this beautiful riverside campsite, maybe doing some more tanning on my van rooftop, not thinking about court proceedings, doing my little project management job, chefing up some food. Not really. I didn't really get much to cook, but I got some food to eat. And I plan to be here till Tuesday night, find another campsite that isn't going to be freezing at night, and then get ready for the festival. So that was my week too. Full, yeah. I'm happy. I'm happy. And it's been a fun adventure so far. And if you made it this far, what the fuck? Smash that motherfucking like button and subscribe. Press the ring notification bell or whatever. And I'll be posting a week 3 vlog soon with my hydroponic experience, the rest of my Southwest Colorado adventure, and then it's back to fuck ass Denver. But yeah, I'll be getting some nice, beautiful little videos to supplement in the meantime. But thanks for watching. Bye.